Okie. Ita Mexico, good day. It is just about 11 o'clock in the AM on Friday, the 17th of March, 2023, St. Patrick's Day. Happens to fall on a Friday. This is going to be a crazy day all over everywhere where there's white peoples. Yeah, it's going to be a crazy day. I imagine in Lethbridge too. I imagine we'll probably get into some shenanigans, Britt and I, this evening, but we'll see what the day holds. This morning, I am hiking out into the wilderness park, obviously, carrying with me a bag of groceries to leave as an offering and an experiment. If you've been following my videos last little while, you'll know that I am experimenting out here, trying to find out which foods the porcupine is most seriously interested in, because I am having porcupine trapping issues. The city hired me to try to get a porcupine out of Riverstone that's been eating one of the pine trees on the green strip, and I set up my trap, and over the course of the next couple of weeks, the porcupine ate all the bark off of that tree, save for the patch that was just behind my trap. So I was using apples that had been cut up and had salt sprinkled on them. I've had success with this in the past, but not enough success that it warrants just sticking with that, as if there's not a better bait. I'm sure there is. So I tried pineapple out here. A few weeks back, I put a pineapple out. We saw how that went. Porcupine did check it out, but wasn't particularly interested in it, nor were any of the animals. Probably the ones that used it the most were the magpies, but the deer and the porcupine both came and checked it out as well. Took little bites, little nibbles, went on their way. Today, we are putting out bananas and carrots with one trap, with one experiment. Somebody had asked, can a deer peel bananas? I don't know, but we're gonna find out what they do with a banana in any case. So we're gonna put out some bananas. We're gonna put out a few carrots, and carrots, somebody else had suggested, was a food that the porcupine would be most interested in. So we'll see what happens. I also have in here leftover dinner from me and Britt from a few days back. We had turkey nuggets, turkey breast nuggets with fries, and we had a bunch of stuff left from that. And so I'm going to find a different place and set up a second camera trap with the turkey nuggets and fries, and see who's interested in that. Okay, so there's people coming up the path here. I'm going to quit talking to myself. We'll go down to the river and see what's shaking there. Just passing by this giant thatching mound. I don't know if the ants are in there or not. If they're, we'll find out pretty soon as it warms up. Won't be long before they start coming out. But it just reminded me, as I was passing by, reminded me that I had some kind of dream that involved a thatching ant mound. There's just like little memory of it in my mind. I wouldn't even remember it at all if I hadn't passed by that mound and seen it. And I was like, oh yeah, I had a dream just last night. And it involved some animal that ate the ants, but then made use of the mound to grow some kind of a plant. I'm not sure what the plant was. I'm not sure who the animal was. and there was something about the the thatch itself that helped like fertilize this plant. Okay, it whatever the plant was, it grows very good in thatching ant mound fertilizer. So I don't know what that dream was about, but I might take some of that stuff home in a pot one day, fill a pot, and see how things grow in it. In fact, I could, when I empty this bag, I could fill it up with thatching stuff. Well, it's a little frozen now, but as things unfreeze, that might be another experiment I check out. Just getting my first look at the river here. Golden eyes. Yeah, just golden eyes today. Might be a couple of mallards all the way across. In fact, I'll probably look at my binoculars and see. Out here looks like 3 geese, but I suspect they're just carcasses. Yeah, I'm gonna get my binoculars out and have a look. Otherwise, lots of golden eyes. Nothing unexpected. Not seeing the gulls that were here the other day, but not seeing the geese either. The water's completely open. Again, I'm struck by how inviting it looks to go kayaking. All right, I'm gonna glass around a little bit, see what I can see. All right, so it does look like we have one mallard couple out there. I don't even know if they're coming into focus. One mallard couple, along with, of course, a bunch of golden eyes. The geese I was looking at, I'm not sure about them either still, whether they are ducks or geese and whether they're alive or deceased. No, they're alive. Haha. Who is that? We gotta look with my binocs again. So I think those were mallards back there on the ice before, and there's mallards here as well. I've just walked downstream a little ways. Somewhere, if it's this group of mallards here, there's also a Widgeon. Because I can hear the Widgeon giving calls, but I haven't been able to spot him among this group. Do you hear that? It's very faint. In any case, there is a Widgeon here, which is another new arrival. Hopefully I'll be able to sight some as we go along. Yeah, I was thinking this area here is as good as any to set up our first trap, first camera trap. The mature forest is just back there beyond the little oxbow drainage, and so there's lots of different animals there, raccoons, porcupine, deer. So I've set up over right here for our first experiment, the bananas and carrots. So we've got our camera trap here, Aiming over here. We've got 3 bananas, 3 carrots. I opened up 1 banana just so that, you know, the animals figure out what's inside without having to necessarily start opening the first one themselves. Maybe that'll tempt them to open the others. We will find out whether or not deer can peel bananas. That's for sure. I suspect that they cannot. All right, let's turn our camera on and leave it to do its work. Continue our hike. Figured I'd put the second experiment out here in this area that's kind of ringed by drift flotsam deadwood. I know there's lots of rabbits out here. I don't think they're going to be interested in this experiment, nor the deer, but we'll see who is. This is the the turkey nugget and fry experiment. Our camera is right here, so we will turn it on. I hear the chickadees in the background. I left them some seeds on a log a little ways back when I started hearing them. Now they're kind of following me around. Grab my backpack. All right, we'll see what happens. You chickadees want some seeds? See if they'll come. That's random pocket shit amongst my seeds. No, they've just gone quiet now. These ones out here aren't all hand trained like the ones closer to the city. In any case, continue our hike. Hear that sound out there? Those are Wigeons. I came out here to check, see if there were any eagles on these larger perching trees where they like to set up shop and hunt for ducks, but none this morning, or today, I should say, afternoon. But I definitely am hearing Wigeons. Let's go see if we can get a look. The actual sighting of a Widgeon would be nice. By the way, I haven't forgotten about what we observed the other day with the deer who were rooting around under the snow looking for food. And as I was walking through the forest and such on my way over here, I did have an eye out for that to see if I could see any new green, anything coming up in the forest, from the forest floor. So I don't know what that's about. Still gotta investigate. If it was snowy, we could investigate some fresh areas. Okay, hold on. I can hear them. I can hear them, but can we see them? Hear that? That's clear as day. That's Widgeon. I'm gonna get out my binocular, my monocular, since I only have one eye. I have this special monocular that I use. Let's see if I can get a look at a Widgeon and then I'll point it out in camera. Hey, here's a magpie carcass. That's the first magpie carcass that I've found. Possibly avian flu related. Still lots of goose carcasses along the river shore. A lot of them must be in the river because they were on the ice and the ice is melted, and so I don't know, swimming in the river this summer might get interesting. Might have a lot of goose carcasses around. Still couldn't find those Wigeons. I keep hearing them, but I just can't get close enough to get an eye on any of them before they jet off. It's getting bright out here. It's getting bright with the snow. Just head around this little oxbow here. No eagles, but then I haven't been very stealthy along the river here this morning. If there were any eagles or anything else, upstream or downstream, they'd have known there was trouble over here by the way that the ducks were behaving, flying away, you know. You kind of, if you're not careful, even if you are, you create this wave of animal movement ahead of you. In order to really get an idea of what's going on, a lot of times you need to just sit still, you know, move to where you're going to move, and then sit still. You know, if you sit still for an hour, be amazed at what you'll see. I don't do it often enough, especially in the cold. It's hard to sit still, but it's just a time thing, and a bit of an ADD thing. I want to be on the move. So I think those were mallards back there. I've been walking downstream a little ways now, and I've come across this other group. And interestingly, in this other group, which is mostly mallards, there's a widgeon. I haven't picked him out, but I can hear him. So if we stick around here just a couple of minutes, we'll hear the Widgeon. Lots of mallards. I don't know if it's those ones up on the ice or some of these guys, but there's definitely a Widgeon calling, which would be another new migration arrival. Hold up. I see somebody out there that we're gonna have to get the other camera on. Might even be a swan. Hold up. We're at the downstream end now. So it is definitely a pair of swans. Magpie. The big white gull in Blackfoot. I can't tell if they're tundra or trumpeter. I'm thinking probably trumpeter. But from this distance, I can't tell unless they're calling. Magpie. The scary thing is that we still have a lot of death here. There's a lot of death in the river, and with the migration underway, hopefully these new arrivals don't start dropping dead. But you never know. Things are still pretty rank here. Any case, I guess I'll start hiking back toward the parking lot. Britt's waiting for me to come home. Anybody who's wondering how things are going, on that side of my life on the home front. Well, ever since my Valentine's week with Britt, she's been mostly home, and we are mostly getting along, and I have been very happy. Like, I was having anxiety attacks and things like I've never experienced in my life, and all that went away right away when Britt came back home. So it's happy times. It's almost been like honeymooning, really. It's hard for me to even get out of bed on a nice day like this before 11 o'clock, or to get out of bed at all. You know, when I left, Britt was still in bed, and I'd have just as soon stayed there and kept cuddling, but have to get some kind of game on out here. Try to do some things in the daylight. But yeah, all's well on that side of things, and I'm very happy to have her home, and concede that I was in mostly the one in the wrong in our fighting, although it definitely took two. Concede that mostly my jealousy, my imaginations and stuff got the better of me, and I didn't need to do some of the things that I did in response to my imaginings and such. Anyway, it's all good. I'm happy she's home. Getting back to normal, you know, little by little. In case, shouldn't be too long now, I'll be out of here. I think I'll check on these traps on Sunday, if Carol and I come through here for our walk and talk Sunday. If not, maybe early in the week next week. But if we come through on Sunday, I'll definitely check, see if anybody's taken the bait already, and if it's already gone, I'll just clear the traps, but otherwise keep the experiment going. No porcupine that I've seen yet in the trees today. Again, going back to that idea that they like to be in the treetops a little bit more when there's a bunch of ground covered snow, you know. Although you can find them in the treetops anytime as well, but it just seemed like more of them were up there when the snow was on the ground. Speaking of porcupines, finally found one. I think this is the same one we were looking at on the same branch several days ago. He's a cutie. Just ever so still. Look, this is the litter of the like little bark chips and stuff and branches that he's gnawed off and dropped. Hey bud, good look from this angle. Porcupine face. Cute guy, just sleeping away.
What an awesome opportunity. Not often we have fresh snowmelt water coming down this coulee. at this kind of rate. I'm going to take the opportunity to fill up my whole water bag, my canteen that I carry with me. And I usually don't use this, you know, like, it'll take me several hikes to kind of make use of all this. It's definitely got some minerals in the water. You can taste the earth, and it's a little bit brownish, yellowish in color, you know. I'm loving it though. Anytime I can get real water as compared to the treated stuff, and I don't have to worry about giardia or anything because there's not beavers up this coulee. I mean, I'm sure there's other stuff to be concerned about, but I ain't that concerned. I'm just gonna enjoy nature's water. Yes, sir.